So what is your first and last name?
Bill Bastien.
Would you spell that?
Bill, B-I-L-L, Bastien, B-A-S-T-I-A-N.
And then where's your hometown?
Oakhurst.
And your rank and branch?
Say that again.
Your rank and branch?
My rank?
And branch in the war?
Oh, branch.
Yes.
Boy, you're going to be difficult to deal with. Why don't you come and sit beside me where I can hear you? Okay. I went into the Army as a private. I promoted and became an officer. And when the war was over, I was a first lieutenant in the Corps of Engineers. And branch? Corps of Engineers.
And then unit served in?
One unit. I went as a cadre by myself with 2 sergeants on a train from Mississippi up to Fort Dix, New Jersey, with a requisition for 900 young men who were just inducted in the service. And I waited for 2 days while they got their shoes and their uniforms and so forth, put them on a troop train, took them back to Mississippi, and we built the 203rd Engineer Combat Battalion, and I stayed in that same organization until the war was over.
Okay, can you tell me any unique experience that you had during the war?
Unique experience?
Yes.
I landed on Omaha Beach on D-Day. That was unique. I rode on the deck of an LST going over to Normandy and watched the LST next to us run over a mine and sink before it got out of sight completely. That was unique.
Can you go into further detail on the sinking of the landing craft?
You mean, did I go on a landing craft?
Tell us more about it.
Going to the beach? We trained for 6 months on the southern coast of England. England was so full of troops getting ready to go on this thing that when the final day came, we drove up into Wales and down to Cardiff on the Irish Sea. We boarded an LST. An LST is a landing ship tank. And the landing ship tank took us out into the Irish Sea, and we basically circled around for a whole day because General Eisenhower had delayed the invasion by 1 day because of weather. There was a storm passing through. We finally headed on over towards Normandy, and that's where I watched this LST next to us sink. And I was riding, or I stayed on the deck of the LST, especially after seeing how fast they disappeared. And when we got off of the Normandy coast of Omaha Beach, we waited until it was time for us to be sent on to shore. We had no control over that. When it was time to go ashore, we climbed down the cargo nets off the LST onto an LCVP, Landing Craft Vehicle and Personnel, roughly a 25 or 30 foot open boat with a coxswain in the back of it from the Navy. The rest of us were troops. Ramp in the front that lets down if he puts you on the beach. And it's going up and down in the rough seas, and of course the LST is basically sitting still, so going down a cargo net was probably the most hazardous part of the landing for all of us. We went ashore. I didn't land until the afternoon of D-Day, and things were not exactly what you see on most television shows, and it was raining, and we were cold, and I dug a foxhole in the sand and stayed there until the next morning. by then, most of my other personnel arrived. I happened to be the battalion motor officer, and I had mostly mechanics. And when they came ashore, I got together with them and put them to work, primarily salvaging vehicles that had drowned coming ashore because of the water. And they would put the things back to where they could get them running again and take them up to the bluffs where the exit road left the beach and park them for any of the soldiers to take. We stayed there on the beach till it closed in October.
Thank you. Can you tell me how old were you when you first enlisted into the military?
I was 20 when I went into the service, and I got a commission as a second lieutenant in the Army Engineers 6 days after my 21st birthday.
Thank you.
I'll be 90 in 2 months.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.